Wow. Welcome to Target, the show for masculinity and success. And I'm your host, Atlas Altman, former military commander turned best-selling author, now bringing you a podcast that you can use. We're sharing stories from highly successful men so that you can figure it out for yourself. Welcome. This is Targeted. All right, everybody, welcome back to Targeted Podcast. Today is one of the first times I get to pay somebody in the studio for some awesome work that he did in the octagon. Today I have with me Ferdaws Nayimi.
Yep.
Ferdaws Nayimi.
Yes, sir.
And he goes by Bobby Murda, which is easy for everyone to roll off the tongue. He's got an interesting story. We're going to get into that. But one of the things I want to just knock out real fast is I have to pay you, my man, because you pushed a rear naked choke right over the podcasted icon, and rough, I think it was 64 for your sixth. Was it your sixth win?
Yes, it was my sixth win, special one for me. Being from Toronto, our area code is like 6 because there's 6 different cities that combine Toronto. And obviously with Drake, calling Toronto the sixth god. So yeah, it was just a little it meant a lot to me, especially being in Phoenix, Arizona too. You're right. So
yeah, that's awesome. I mean, there's a whole story of how you got here, and you're training at an MMA lab here in Phoenix now, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, yeah, he's been doing a lot of great things in the fight game. Been watching him for a while. I got to see a lot of really good content that you're pushing out on your Instagram. We're going to put your Instagram on our feed and make sure everyone can get out and start following you.
Appreciate that.
But can people pay you through Instagram if they want to support your fighting?
Yeah, we do have sponsorship. I call it, there's 2 types of sponsorship that we athletes get. There's ones that when people sponsor you, but they call donors, they don't want nothing in return. They just want to help and support. Yeah. And there's other ways. I call it the advertisement. So you have to give back by advertising or, soliciting something. And I call it more of a partnership.
I like that. Yeah, and no one's ever explained that. That's part of the fight game that is unique to the fighter. So you have something set up as a great network. Yeah. And I think I've seen it called the Murder Gang. Yeah. Murda Gang. Yeah, I love that, man. You have your belt on here, you got your symbols around it. It's a really class act, man. It's great work.
Just love to inspire, we don't get to take away nothing in this world. We're here for experience, and only thing we truly own is moments and memories in this world, right? I just try to inspire, I got inspired by a fighter from Afghanistan. He was the first Afghan to get in the UFC. His name was Siar Bahadurzada, and I seen him beat Thiago Alves in the UFC and drop him and lift that flag, and that's all it takes to spark a dream, to inspire. So I just love to inspire, motivate, and as long as if I could get one soul in this world to ignite and for him to chase his dream, that's all it means to me.
That's the best. I see you doing that right now. So you were born in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And then you made this journey worldwide, kind of around. We were talking a little bit before the show about it. Tell us how all of this came to Phoenix. Can you explain, not the plane rides and all this?
The beautiful way I would say this is when I started reading a book called The Alchemist.
Okay.
And kind of reminded me of my life, how a kid started it out somewhere and it ended up all the way to find his personal legend or his treasure, what he was looking for. So I was born in Afghanistan in 1996. I was born in Herat, which is the west side of the province beside Iran. My father, very interesting story, his dad married 5 wives. He had 5 wives, and he was the second. He was a son from a second wife or the third.
Okay.
So they all grew up, and back home back then, it was like a generational wealth thing. People tried to do things to create a generational wealth, and my grandfather did a great job. Apparently, my family was into Persian rugs, so they were selling authentic, handmade. And then he would make it, the kids, the wife, the daughters, everyone at home make it. And eventually, they build a generational wealth to the point every son, every daughter had a share, house, cows, goats, sheep, land. And then my dad in 1999, when the Taliban took over, and the civil war happened between the Mujahideen and the Taliban, he decided to sell some of his share of the property, go to a black market and meet someone random there to promise him that he will take him to Russia illegally through 5 different countries. So, and then my dad gambled, and I give respect to my old man, because being in his shoe at that time, young 20s, to just have someone random to come up to you and say, hey, like, this is a route, like, let's hit it, like, you know, let's leave your country, let's leave your home, let's leave your parents, let's leave your comfort, let's leave your future, and go out there and make something happen for your kids. And my dad took the request, and we left, and then we went illegally to Iran, stayed in Iran with a few of my uncles and aunts. From Iran, we basically went on a car drive and then in a train ride to Pakistan. We stayed in Pakistan for 3 days. My dad got arrested there. He went to jail, and then we had to bail him out, and the journey had to continue.
He got arrested in Pakistan.
Yeah, illegally, just because of a lot of politics in between Pakistan and Afghanistan.
Was it just you?
It was me and my sister.
And your sister.
Yeah, and then from Pakistan, we made it to Tajikistan.
What happened? You're
going through.
Got out?
My dad got out. We had to bail him out. My mom bailed him out. It was a very interesting, strange story. Getting stuck with 2 kids and a mom, and she doesn't know what to do. And so thank God my dad kind of like told my mom what to do. And then we made it to Uzbekistan, and then our last trip from Uzbekistan to get to Russia was to get in the train. And back in the day, it's Soviet train. It's like a hard, thick bed, and then there's bunk beds on top that fold. And then on the bottom, the bunk beds, they're like a big case. You open it, you put your luggage in it. So we had to hide in there for 9 hours.
9 hours.
Yeah, I would, like, they open it, feed us water, food, they'll close it, and people would sit on it. And the reason we had to hide 9 hours because every 3 hours the train would stop. And then cops would come in because the immigration illegally was there. So they would just check. But since people were sitting on us, they wouldn't have, they would never think like, okay, fuck, people will hide there. And we finally made it to Russia. I remember nothing from my childhood in Afghanistan, but I remember that train ride when we arrived. I remember when my mom crying and she saw her dad. That's why we ended up there, because my mom's father kind of migrated and he found the route. And we went in there, and then we lived in a 1-bedroom, 15 people. 15 people. And how we started out making money is because we had I had my dad and my 4 uncles from my mom's side, her sister, 3 of her sister, dad, mom, and then my siblings. So we would go to bazaar, my uncles, me, and we'll take food orders of all the employees. They'd be like, hey, we're making chicken and lamb for tomorrow, or we have gnocchi or whatever, what would you like? So he would take pre-orders of 150 people in the bazaar. He would come home, and then all the women would start cooking up until 4 a.m. They'll pre-pack the food. They would take it, go to bazaar, distribute it, take the money, and eventually we kept hustling. So one uncle had to start his own business, this and that, and my dad. We grew up in Russia. There was a lot of racism, growing up in a communist country, being exposed to skinheads. You're right. So that was very interesting. Growing up in Russia was tough, but I admire the experience that I've been there through it, because it shaped me who I am today, and lived in Russia for 5 years. My dad was working a bazaar. It was a tough life growing up. I was the oldest, and then we had my 3rd brother. I was like 7, 8 years old, commuting 1 hour to school, taking my siblings with me, come back. So I was like the oldest of the family. I kind of matured at a young age, and I feel like maturity doesn't happen by experience. Maturity happens by damage.
Yeah, I've had someone on the show say that a man is shaped by how much trauma they've been through, and the right amount of trauma makes them a better man. For my audience, a bazaar is it's a market. You can buy a lot of different things. And so it's a place where you go to get a lot of things
cheap
at a reasonable price.
A very reasonable place. It's like a kind of farmer's market, but more ghetto. You got more like a bazaar would be more like immigrants working. You know what I mean? The malls weren't around, wasn't a big thing. So it was a bunch of immigrants. Dude, I was like in Russia, right? Seeing Chinese people speak Russian. I've never been around the world. Haven't been in a westernized, I haven't traveled. So I was like seeing African American people in Russia. I never seen one. I was like, holy snap! Who is this person, right? And they spoke Russian. So I was exposed to a lot of stuff. And then from Russia, I went to Belarus. We migrated to Belarus, a sister city right beside Russia. And then I started training martial arts there. My uncle, my
What'd you
dad.
start with?
I started out with Muay Thai. 2006 was my first time. And then the reason why there was just a gym by our house, like I seen fighters running around and people training, and I just was curious, you know. And back then we didn't have no laptops, phones, so I would just disappear outside, and there was no motive. You just find friends, knock on people's houses, hey, come play. And I rolled into a gym, and I just fell in love with the gym. Was my escape route from home. I had a lot of things happening at home with family, outside issues, just mental health. Like just a kid, you know. I seeing a lot of trauma, facing things. So I would always go to a gym, and that was my escape route. And I wasn't good. I wasn't talented. I wasn't
no one's
strong.
good when they start.
Yeah, so I just
How old
loved.
were you?
Well, I was 10 and 11, 10 or 11 when I started. Yeah. So and then I just loved being there. I was just a little chubby kid. I was being made fun of in the gym too, but I just loved sitting there for hours and just seeing like a top level elite athlete train. And I just like loved the environment. You know, iron sharpens iron, so I just felt that every day. And I would come, and then I had my fight. I won my first fight. It was like a chicken fight. It was like two roosters fighting. I don't remember much. I won, and then I got addicted to it. And then 2008, my dad came home, told us that we're going to Canada.
Okay.
I was like, whoa, you know, I watched Home Alone as a kid. Never understood a single word that it says. I just seen it for visuals. So I'm thinking, dang, we're going home. Like, we're going to America. We're going to the west side of the world. Like, you know, like all I'm thinking, like, okay, we're going to have our own house. We never owned a house.
Yeah.
Like a American, you know, a house. A yellow school bus is going to come pick us up. And we're going to have all these free toys, food. I get to Toronto. First visit, we didn't have a house, so we had to go sleep over at my dad's friend's one bedroom, and we have a family of 7. And then I get in there to community housing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, holy shit, like this is not what I envisioned. You
Right.
know? We go in the elevator, there's
Express.
piss on the elevator. We're like, oh my god, we're holding on earth.
Yeah.
We're going inside the house. We sleep over the next day, all over bed bugs and stuff. And that's when my heart shattered. I was like, damn, like. I thought, like, you know, God's going to bless us. But, yeah, it was crazy. So we stayed at my dad's friend's house for 3 months. And then we finally got our own apartment. And then when we got our own apartment for our first week, we just slept bare floor, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my mom, we're sleeping on the floor. Like, nothing, dude. We just, like, nothing. It's just like a thin pair of blankets and a few pillows that we bought. Bare floor, nothing, no carpet.
Right.
We're sitting, my mom started crying. I started crying. And I felt her. I'm like, why are you crying? She's like, oh, like, you know, look at our life. We don't have anything and things like that. And I just like was so fed up with my life, like how we kept bouncing, we were settling down.
Yeah.
And I wiped her tears off. I said, it's okay. Like, at least we have our own spot. Like, you know, at least we don't have to be scattered around, dependent on people. And my life changed. Grew up in Canada, went to school, graduated. I wanted to become a nurse after high school. I didn't have the prerequisite.
Really?
And I was like the oldest in the family, and my dad only worked, so I had to go out there and support my family. So I had to get into trades. While I was still in Canada, I joined a gym called Warrior Muay Thai. Zubair Khan was a huge mentor of mine. Coming there, welcomed me with open arms, and then I started training. And then I was training full time, competing, start winning titles in Canada, became number 1.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't travel because I didn't have a passport overseas. So I kind of like the light in the dim of my motivation kind of died out.
Yeah, you fought.
And then I started getting into trades, started working, worked as a plumber, a local 46. It's a very great union. And then while I was competing, fighting full time, working as a plumber, the opportunity came to join Team Canada for kickboxing. And I went for it.
Yeah.
Trained, and then went overseas, fought in China, all over the world. And then 2019, one of my sponsors, Jason McKay and Stan Pavlovsky, they were like business partners, very good friend of mine, good mentors, took me down to UFC Ottawa 2019. It was Al Quinta against Donald Cerrone, Cowboy.
Okay.
They bought me front row tickets.
Did they?
Like, dude, it was huge. Like, you know, who the hell would
Your
have money? Yeah, exactly. So, but these guys were very good at what they do in business. Like, they were really good mentors, so they would always help me and, like, you know, about networking, give me books, have me listen to podcasts, things like that. So I'm sitting there in UFC front row. I'm shocked. That's my first time, and I hear the same interest, the lights, people come in. So all I'm seeing is just the cage, but everything else outside of the cage, since I'm a fighter, I'm like, it's all noise, it's all repeated, same thing. All it is just the cage and 2 fighters fighting. Everything outside of it is noise. Yeah, it's people, but I train every day. It's not, you know what I mean? It's nothing different. So I'm like, I'm looking at some of these guys and my confidence kicks in. I'm like, I could bang with some of these guys standing because I know what I'm capable of, you know? But I'm like, you know, when it comes to wrestling and jiu-jitsu, these guys are better than me. Not better than me because they're skills, but they're better than me because they have more time in their craft than me. So I looked at myself, okay, I said, if I, for example, my apprenticeship, it costs me 7,000 hours within 5 years to earn my journeyman license. So I'm like, let me translate that to fighting. So I'm like, if I invest 4 years and ask nothing in return, just invest as an apprentice in wrestling. I was 23 years old when I was there. I'm like, by 27, I could turn pro and I could waste 5 years into it. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. At least I'll learn, right, throughout it. And I was willing to do the risk. Right after the bat, I started doing my homework, finding out what's the best wrestling school in Canada. And I found out a gentleman in Niagara Falls. It was 2 hours away from Toronto. Chris Burkett, it was a Niagara top team. So I started commuting there. So I would wake up 5 a.m., be at work at 6 a.m., hard labor. You're the apprentice, delivery's there, you got to pick it up. There's no elevator, 20 floors up, carrying the material, all cast iron pipe and everything. And then by 3 p.m. it would be done. I would be in rushing traffic, try to beat the traffic to get to the gym. And I always get late because, you know, it was a 2-hour commute in traffic. And then it was just endless, wake up, repeat, you know, go to the gym. And then after a while, exactly. And then COVID started hitting. COVID hit, everything shut down in Canada. And then one day I got a call from my head coach and a huge mentor of mine, Evan Boris, still my coach. He's like, hey kid, you know, I'm in Arizona, I'm in Pennsylvania right now, training and things. He's like, you need to come down here. Things are slow in Canada. There are some fights opportunity. Like you think you got time?
That's
You're 23 years old. Like go for it.
Nice.
And that was like a wake up call. I was with my buddy, Vinny Diaz, my brother, from another mother. And we're not, so he was there. We kind of finished training. And then I'm like, dude, I think I'm going to go to PA. You want to come? He's like, let's go. So I came home. It was 11 p.m. I said, Mom, I'm going to America. And she just lost it. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go train, fight. And then I went to Pennsylvania, going from a city to like a redneck town. It was very culture shocking, you know. I got there and then I just started, I met a gentleman named Isaac Grilly. He's like a father figure to me. He housed me, fed me while I was there, gave me a job, like literally taught me how to wrestle, like how to train. And then he just housed me, Vinny, and a few Canadian fighters. So we had like a bedroom with just a shower, no kitchen, nothing, and 3-4 mattresses just scattered everywhere. And then I just kept training, fought in here in Pennsylvania, went undefeated, and I fell in love with the process.
So you were undefeated everywhere you've been now. But you put in the work.
Yeah, I've had losses in my kickboxing career. My record was 33 wins and 7 losses. So those 7 losses, I've learned tons, dude.
When you were you front row in UFC and you saw that, were you into some wrestling at the time?
No, zero.
So you were like, okay, I have to do something.
Yeah,
kickboxing.
Exactly.
When did you get your hard ears? When did that happen?
This happened in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
and I always, you know, I'm a striker at heart. I love to stay pretty.
No, I can't.
But this is my honor badge. You know, it happened in Pittsburgh. I always see the wrestlers how it happened, but then it just blew up, and I just kind of embraced the game, embraced what it came for. Now I just love it.
No, a lot of the things I'm seeing on your content, I'm seeing like a high teep. You have like a special, unique kick to the face.
Yeah, I love that.
How did that work out?
It came from watching Anderson Silva.
Yeah, Silva.
Just very disrespectful, like Teepsy drop Vitor Belfort with the snappy one. And when I fight, I love like just performing. I love making entertaining. I don't love boring fights. You know, I love taking the risk. I grew up watching Anderson Silva. I love that entertainment. I love that tenacity. I love art. Like, this is an art. Like, we're all artists. I'm an artist. Yeah. You're an artist. Everyone else is an artist in this world. But it's how we express it. I express it through violence. You express it through this, like interaction, communication. So I just love to, I don't know. I just love like shining. I love pressure. I just love, I don't know. I just love putting a twist and kind of making my thing, you know what I mean? And just take something away. So, I love putting on a show performance, you know, someone to see me watch and be like, that kid is good. The way he moves, you could just tell, right? Not just you could just tell. So,
I love that. Now, the show aspect, you're definitely bringing that. And Ruff, you knew you submitted, you ended the fight, you got there, hands holding, and you were like pretending like you didn't know what and you got down. I remember watching the video. I was like, oh, I gotta get this guy on the show. He's a performer.
Yeah.
But artistry goes way beyond what you can do with violence. It's how people perceive your violence as art. That I think you're mastering that right now. I think that's one of the things you're doing really well. So I'm glad to get you on the show to talk about that. Who's influencing that right now? Who's influencing your art?
That's a very good question. I think I'm like a nerd when it comes to the sport striking aspect of it. From my roots, where I came from, a lot of my style and thing comes from like Russians or Belarus. I grew up with like some of the best of the best. I might say the audience might recognize who it is if they're real nerds about this game. Guys like Chingiz Alazov, Andrei Kulibin, Alexander Ignashov, like they call him the Scorpion. Obviously, Anderson Silva, Israel Adesanya. But one of my huge mentors that kind of like started to spark this was Zubair Khan.
Really?
Yes, in Canada when I first got to it, he was like a lot into. They called him the Cobra.
Yes.
So I call myself the snake charmer, but he was like into a lot of flying knees, kicks, and like beautiful setups. And it wasn't basic. He just gave us his style and his own twist. And I just like started to think more differently. Just seeing him. So Zubair Khan was like a big figure of mine. I still talk to him. He's like a brother to me. He was a coach. I've trained with him for I think like 8 years, maybe more. So yeah.
That's all. Oh wait. Let's transition over to Thailand.
Oh, man.
Thailand.
That's my like second home, man. That's
How many times
I could talk to Thailand for like hours, but yeah, I've been there. My first time I went there 2017 for my birthday, and that's when I fell in love. And after 2 years, I've been to Thailand back to back. I just want to shout out my buddy Stan Pavlovsky. He's like a big brother to me. He's been kind of like helping me out, sponsoring me every time when I go down there. And he kind of like introduced me to Thailand. And I don't know what it is, man, about that side of the world. People call Thailand the land of smiles or the land of happy people, something like that. And I think it's just the culture, the Buddhism, the people. They're very humble, calm, very like, I think one thing I've realized being an immigrant and traveling a lot is being different. Outside of North America, you get embraced. Oh, you're American. Oh, you're Afghan. Oh, you speak different languages. Where do you live? Oh my God, you get embraced. But I feel like in the Western society, being different sometimes doesn't get embraced. They're like, oh, well, there's good and bad everywhere. Oh, go home, go back to your country. Oh, you know what I mean? Little things like that. So I don't think we embrace being different much more than it is outside of North America mainly.
It's interesting you say that because one of my really good friends, professional baseball coach, he did this whole study on the best restaurants in the world. And he said one of the things that you have to have in order to be very successful is you have to have experience in world cultures. He says without that, you're going to fail. Mm-hmm. And he honestly, he brought it up to art. He said, I do baseball. He's like, but anything you do, you have to have different perspectives. And that's what makes it more interesting. Mm-hmm. And I've heard you say that consistently in different ways.
Yeah, it's how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Amen. So that,
So I think it just, and a lot of Americans, even when I first came down here, right, I was just hanging out in Pennsylvania. I was like, hey, you guys should come to Canada or like, let's travel, let's do this. And a lot of Americans don't have passports. So that was a little bit of interesting, not in that way, why they don't have passport. It's like people don't, maybe don't have the opportunity or just, don't want to explore outside of the world to see what it's like outside of is the grass really greener on the other side, right? So, and then like, I'm not saying people don't have real life problems. I think life hardship and like some patterns of life are different outside of the world, you know what I mean? So like, I've seen some real life problems. I'm grateful to be here. I think two of the greatest things that this country provides that I'm always grateful, and I've been saying this every time, is the freedom. Go live out there in communist, see,
it's a little different. And
talk about freedom of speech, or even like try to walk outside with maybe some different weird clothes or just like something against it, right? So the freedom. In this country, you could go out there, work at Walmart and have a great job and help someone's dream come true. Or you can go out there, go get a loan or do something and make your own business, right? The freedom, man, it's huge. It's so huge. And the second thing is the land of opportunities. the American dream. Or you could, like, dude, there's so much opportunity. If I was in Afghanistan or in Russia, you think I would have the opportunities that I would have right now to go chase my dreams? You know, I swear, if I lived in Afghanistan, my mom would be like, hey, kid, you got to go to bazaar, go feed, go, you know, make some money for bread. So
rugs, quality rugs, man. I mean, I saw a lot of them, but like, you're right. You wouldn't have the ability to train and do all the things that you are really good at. And I think that America brings that. I think Canada brings that too.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple countries in the world, but like Thailand really brings.
I love the Thailand. Cost of living is very efficient. Like, as a traveler, if you have a budget of 500, you'll still live like a king. If you want to spend 1,000, you will live like a, you know, majesty. And then one thing I love about it is, like, 2 minutes away you drive, you could go to like a crazy condominium, like a city. The next thing you know, it's like little neighborhood, quiet. People are just more humble. Every time when I love to go down there to train with Thais, like, you could go against a guy that has 300 fights. He's like the pound for pound guy, and he has nothing to prove. He doesn't go there with no ego, doesn't hurt you. It's all play, it's all fun, and you learn a lot from that culture. Here, we kind of have a little chip on the shoulder, always kind of proving your worth and things like that. People don't have nothing to prove. I love Thai food, the curries, the dishes, and the culture, and the way they train. Every time I go there, I get humbled. Like, I go out there with some crazy gear, supplements, and I'm sponsored and thing. And next thing you're training is beside a Thai guy that sleeps on like a little mattress on the concrete, just wakes up. He's happy to be here. Yeah. He fights, you know, like, has messed up running shoes. But these guys have with what they have, and they make something out of it. Here on this side of the world, we have everything what we want, but we just still don't feel content. People outside, I feel like in Thailand, they are at peace with themselves because they know there's always war with the world. And here, we're at peace with the world, but we're at war with ourselves.
That's good. That's deep.
And that's where I feel like in Thailand. And I just, every time I go there, I kind of like ground, reflect, meditate, and I just have some weird spiritual connection with that place, that every time I go there, I just kind of like reborn myself, and I come back, reevaluate. So, and the sport saved my life, you know. Muay Thai is like, gave me confidence, took me around the world, showed me belief, showed me the side of the limitless potential that I have within me, that I still haven't untapped.
So throughout the show, you've named a lot of names that have helped you, and you've built a community through mixed martial arts. Would you recommend mixed martial arts to someone who's just starting out in their journey, and at what age?
I think martial arts teaches you a lot, man. The sport doesn't ask nothing from you. It just asks for you to show up and just to give it all. But it offers so much. You could see the sport change so many lives. Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Khabib. Like, you could go on the list. You know, I call this a poor man's sport. Because, like, you know, you don't need nothing. All you need to do is just yourself. But I recommend it at a young age. I think martial arts have saved my life, just to be away from the wrong community, environment, people. He has transformed me mentally. Like, he brought me so much confidence and like made me believe in myself, see the potential in me. So if I have kids, I would like automatically put them at a young age, 5, 6, just so they can learn, because it's life. Martial arts is life, you know, like. It's life. It's how you do everything. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So how you work out, how you show up, how you are in the gym is how you're going to be in life. What you do on the mats is what you're going to do in life. So it's just it's like it's hard, you know, waking up, showing up. It's the same thing in life. You got to wake up, and I was listening to a podcast of Alex Hormozi and Chris Williamson, and it says life is an infinite game. The key to infinite game is to keep playing and show up. The only time the game ends is when you quit or you potentially die. So it's like, it's the same thing, you know, you keep playing the video game. The only time you lose is your mom tells you to turn it off or you just quit, right?
Yeah, I like that.
Same thing. In life is the same thing. The only time the game ends is when you're on your coffin and you're dead.
Yeah.
But the key to win the game is to keep playing, still keep waking up every day. Wins or losses. Like, what's the biggest risk of life? You're going to die. Yeah. So losing is the part of life. So if I'm going to die at the end of the day, all these wins and losses are win-win situation, right? Because all these losses are wins, like lessons. All these wins, great. Okay, I won. I'll enjoy it for a few minutes. what's next? Like tomorrow is a new day, right? So
it never stops.
Yeah, just the infinite game.
I like your introduction of someone coming into your life to tell you to stop.
Mm-hmm.
That happens a lot for a lot of people.
The truth hurts.
Have you been told to stop?
Yeah.
And you didn't listen?
Dude, no, I didn't listen. My own mom told me to quit.
Yeah.
My own parents told me to, like, think about it. Your loved ones are telling you to quit because you're not good.
Yeah.
That hurt, but that's what made me understand that, like, you have to be a true believer in everything, in every aspect of your life, in your relationship with your religion, your God, relationship with your family, relationship with your people outside your circle, in the gym, everything. Because you need to be your first believer in anything you do. In anything you do, you need to be. Because once you're a true believer in your faith, in yourself, in your family, in your God, everything starts, you know what I mean, vibrating into it, because you're a true believer in everything that you do, right? So, yeah.
So we talked a little bit about Jon Jones and you meeting him.
Yeah, it was a great experience meeting him in Thailand.
One of the things you said to me was, I got to experience his vibe.
Yeah, it's different. Energy cannot be destroyed or like built or whatever. It's like physics, right? It can only be transformed. So just hanging around with him, I got to see what it's like being Jon Jones. Before we met him, like right when he came to the meet and greet with the fans and stuff, storm of people just going around with him. And then like constantly, hey, John, picture, whatever. We finally sat down, we introduced each other. We had the same manager, Abe. We still talk to each other. Very good dude. And then my buddy Stan was there. So I got to see what it's like being Jon Jones. And I won't lie to you, like, to be Jon Jones, there's a lot to face, a lot to take, like a lot to be John, to wake up and to have all this thing come at you from the world is like a lot to take for just as a mental health thing. Like like it's hard to kind of take yourself away from the world and just recharge, replug, because everybody wants a little piece of you. You're the GOAT, like they want attention or speech or picture.
Yeah.
So just talking to him about life, about my experience, and feeling him, getting some advice, talking to him about religion, talking about faith, talking about a lot of things. And I was just like listening to a documentary about a guy. It was like a 30-minute about his life. He said, John, are you a good guy that's are you a bad guy that's trying to be a good guy, or are you a good guy that's trying to be a bad guy? And I asked him that question.
Really?
Yeah, just like as a friend. And he was like, you listen to that podcast? He's like, no, man. And then he just dabbled into his faith, and then he says, we're all sinners. There's a beautiful saying. It says, we live in a world of sinners having other sinners telling other sinners on how to sin. So it's like, just nobody's perfect in this world. From my interaction, what I learned is whoever created a pencil made an eraser with it, because he knew no one would be perfect. So I just loved being around him, just talking about life, about my career. I told him, hey, like, I'm a striker. I went to Pennsylvania to train wrestling. He's like, hey, man, you're in Pennsylvania. Like, that's the state of wrestling. You're in the right place. And we just talked a lot. And I just like try to embrace and feel the energy and the vibes and take a little bit of advice for him. And, and our iron sharpens iron. And I just saw what it's like to be at like the GOAT, how he moves, how he talks, how he behaves,
how he is.
What he's doing, just like us studying human behavior, human psychology. So, yeah.
That's exactly what we're doing on the show, is just taking people that are winning and experiencing them right now. And one of the things Dana always says is everyone's full of shit.
Yeah, man.
Like, it doesn't matter who tells you what. It's only your life that you get to live. And everyone else is going to try to influence that.
Yeah, we're the architect of our own reality, and we choose it how we want to create it every day. And that's my little motto. I wake up every day. One of my mentors, his name is Simon Arias, very successful entrepreneur. He's into life insurance. But one of the huge things he's told me is something called MBS, mind, body, spirit. So every day I wake up, I tap into my mind, body, spirit. Something for my mind, which it could be reading a book, listening to a podcast. I'm currently reading Mastery by Robert Greene. Really good book. So I read a chapter, and then right after the bed, once I do something for my mind, I do something for my body. It could be stretching, bike, cardio, a walk, just to go out there and just listen to the birds, see the beauty. And right after that, I do that, then I do something for my spirit. It could be a prayer. It could be a meditation. It could be something. So if I wake up in the morning and I check in with myself, right, before I check in with the world, right, think about it. If I check in with myself, I start understanding to be at peace with myself, and I'm ready for the war, because there's going to be a car issue, a phone ring, family, this, that. But if I wake up and check in with the world before I check in with myself, then I'm going to have this stinky mind, body, spirit. So when I get out of the house, I go there, someone asks me, hey, how's it down? And that's going to rub into somebody else.
That's how it works.
So you just have to be very mindful of your mind, body, spirit. So when you wake up, dedicate that first 20 minutes to your mind, body, spirit. Tap in with yourself, tap into your why, tap into your spirit, to wake up to be. So that was like one of the greatest things that I love to do every day in the morning, to just kind of like understand my why am I here.
Man, thanks for sharing that.
I appreciate that, man. I'm just grateful to be here, to be on your platform, to share my story, to have this opportunity to maybe inspire someone. And, and one thing from my testimony that I love to say to anybody out there is it doesn't matter where you come from, right? It doesn't matter if you're born poor or you're born in this kind of environment or whatever. It just, at the end of the day, the power is within to choose who you want to be.
Love it.
So the one message that I could just give back is, it doesn't matter what cards you've dealt with or how you were born in this life. It matters who you want to be. So if that, you know what I mean? And I chose that through my testimony of life.
Well, you show up all the time like you are, hard as nails, ready to go and ready for the next challenge. And we see that, man. So I appreciate you sharing your knowledge, sharing your story, and being on the platform. With that, I got to give you one more gift. One of our sponsors is Fight Scrub. It's all natural. So after you're done with whatever you're doing, you can spray your gear, you can spray your body. It's all natural. It keeps ringworm, mat diseases, all the stuff keeps you in training. So
we're talking about ringworm, man. It's a huge thing in the gym, guys.
Yeah.
Sometimes they leave the gym and they don't shower, and it's just like, I'll do a little joke. I'm like, "Oh, you're gonna marinate in the car like a pickle," and they start laughing. And I really appreciate this. I love the biggest thing that caught my eye is the packaging, dude.
Isn't it awesome?
Huge. The marketing is very well on this. Like the packaging, that's caught my eye, because as soon as I came here, you saw it, I was like, whoa, what is that? I was like, all right, we got to focus.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Well, that's yours to take home.
Thank you.
Keep you in training. It saves me. I do kickboxing, Muay Thai, MMA through BJJ as well.
That's awesome, man.
And every time, man, me and my kids, we're all spraying, and it keeps me on the mats, man.
That's awesome. Fight Scrub. Shout out to Fight Scrub for this gift. And man, I want to just quickly shout out one sponsor.
Bring it.
They've been a huge aspect of me being here. As you know, being a fighter, it's a poor man's sport, so food, housing, cost, medicals, and everything else. So Richard and Zach from Pittsburgh, they own a beautiful company. It's called Monarch Hospice. It's a hospice company that helps people, and they've been a huge contributor to my camp here while I was in Arizona, paying for my stay, food, and everything else. And it takes a lot of pressure off your shoulder, not waking up and understanding whether you have a meal to eat, whether you have expenses to just make it to the gym or pay your nutritionist. So, that's awesome. Shout out to them. Project One, they're a very good supplement company in America. I would love to send you some care package from Project One. I will have Greg send you a few supplements, multivitamins, anything like that. So yeah, man.
I'll take them. Project One Nutrition, Monarch Hospice.
Yeah.
And then I got a couple other. If you want to check out his Instagram profile, it's Bobby_Murda
786.
786.
Yes, that's
check him out.
Social media.
Start following him there.
I just love posting, inspiring, and building a brand.
Yeah.
Like I want to have a brand, Bobby Murda, and I don't want to sell anything. I want to sell a feeling. You could be a murder too.
Yeah.
In life, it's just it's a murder gang. It's a mentality. It's a feeling. So yeah.
Yeah. Being able to know that you can control the environment is always the best feeling, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with that, thank you so much for being on the show.
Appreciate that.
And for everyone else, this is a top 10% podcast because of you. We plan to get to top 1%. So I want you to take whatever you can out of this show and apply it to your life and stay on target. This is Atlas Altman. Out.
Stay with us as we stay on target with another awesome episode coming up next. We'll see you there. And subscribe to Targeted Now. As an ambassador to buckedup.com, I get to give you our special discount. That's Atlas25 when you go to buckedup.com to get that special discount. Only for our listeners, Atlas25. Go to buckedup.com now. This is Atlas Altman. I am sitting here with my computer doing the final edits. My dog's just chilling out, and I'm looking for a fight scrub commercial. And instead of just finding one, I'm just going to tell you my thoughts on it, because hey, it's late, and why not listen to me since it's my show? This is something I found through a gym that I go to, and the guy who owns it, the guy who was on my show, is he's an amazing guy, and he tells a story on the show. But where this is a natural product. It is a clean product, not chemicals. And it helps you with anything that you do that you need to sanitize. So for me in MMA, when I'm doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which I can do into my really old age, when I'm broken, I can do Jiu-Jitsu, and I'll keep doing it. I get really sweaty, and then I don't want to smell like other dudes when I come home, and see the family and see my dog and all that. So I spray this stuff on me. I get in the car. My car doesn't smell bad. But then I feel cleaner. I'm not going to get any skin infections. It's an amazing product. It has different flavors of flavors. It's got different smells. But you can put it on your skin. You can spray it all over your clothes. You can spray it all over your gis. You can throw it in your gym bags. It's awesome. But if you play football and you have pads, it's awesome for that. Muay Thai. Whenever I do Muay Thai or boxing, I take my boxing gloves off. I spray the crap out of it. It's a good thing to have. If you're using Clorox or whatever, this is a great alternative. I've been using it for a while. Highly recommend it. There's a link in my bio if you want a discount. Please use my link. I do this for people so that they can get the products that I use. This is one of them. Check it out. Fight Scrub. Check it out.